And Denny and good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Denny and Virginie, the podcast. Yes, it is once again Denny and Virginie, the podcast in which I have no idea what I am doing. I have no idea about my lighting, which don't look the way it looked when I set it up. There we go. That's a little bit better. Also a little bit creepier. Look at my hand. I have the power. Anyway, this is Denny and Virginie, the podcast in which I have no idea what I am doing. Everything is still random, and I don't have a set schedule for it yet, except it is Wednesday. I'm aiming every Wednesday to drop a Denny and Virginie, the podcast. Anyway, as you can tell by the title of today's episode, it is about the Chesapeake Square Mall, which is still a mall and still operational. Operational? Whoa. What? Operational in the peak of excellence. And so today, basically, I went to the Chesapeake Square Mall as my daily Denny and Virginie thing because it was gloomy and doomy a little bit. Not doomy, but a little bit gloomy. It was a little gray. So I went to the Chesapeake Square Mall today because I like to get my walk on whenever there's inclement weather, such as rain or like snow or whatever here. And so it's a good place to go when you don't have gym membership, but you want to get fit, you want to still exercise, you still want to stretch out your legs, but it's raining or there's inclement weather, so you can't necessarily go to parks and rec, you can't necessarily go to a gym if you don't have a membership, but you can still stretch your legs, you can still get some exercise, you can still get your walk on by going to your nearest mall, and just indoor mall that is, and just walking around the perimeter of it. So I wanted to get a good 4 laps in, but I regret to tell you guys I only got in 2. And so shame on me. But I just want to remind you guys that it is a very solid option of something to do when it is raining or snowing or there's inclement weather, because the inside is regulated, and so there's either AC or there's heat depending on where you are or what season it is. And so it's just another option of something for you to do when you don't know what to do when it is raining or there's inclement weather. Anyway, this episode is specifically about the Chesapeake Square Mall in Chesapeake, the peak of excellence, because I went there today, because I live here, because I'm a normal citizen of the great city of Chesapeake, of the peak of excellence. And definitely also because I want to shine a light about how we're going to change our mentality and see more of an opportunity where others see darkness or emptiness or something bad or something boring, and look at it more with a much better lens. And so the Chesapeake Square Mall, if you haven't been there, this mall has been around for many years. And full transparency, we all thought that it had closed down like 2010. We thought it was on its way out. But here we are, 2024, and we are still going. Woo, woo, woo. Can I get a woo, woo? Can I get a ooh, ooh for the Chesapeake Square Mall? Because congratulations, you are still a mall, you are still operational, and we are so thankful that we have you. That being said, if you search the Chesapeake Square Mall, if you talk about the Chesapeake Square Mall, you'll get a lot of negative commentary. I've gotten a lot of negative commentary about it, or a lot of, I didn't know that place still existed. I didn't know that mall was still open. Wow, they're still open? Oh, it's such a drag. It's so boring. So you'll get a lot of that negativity, a lot of that backlash, a lot of that if you start talking about the Chesapeake Square Mall. And I'm not saying it's a great mall. I'm not saying it's a perfect mall. I'm just saying that it is a mall that is filled with opportunity. And so what kind of grinds my gears is when people saying that mall is dead. And it's like, why do you think the mall died? Because people stopped going to it. And by people, I mean you. You stop going to it. You stop supporting it. And so that is how it dies, because it stops getting support from the community. And so you are actually part of the problem. And so what I like to encourage people to do nowadays is to not be part of the problem. And I'm not encouraging you to spend money that you don't have. I'm not encouraging you to spend money at all. I'm just encouraging you to give places a chance to at least physically get your body in there. Even if you don't want to spend any money, even if you don't support any of the businesses in there, at least physically be a body in there to make it more lively, because maybe, who knows, maybe it just needs a good vibe. Maybe it doesn't even need any stores. Maybe it just needs to be a private property that just has good vibes, because the people there are just so nice and genuine and lovely and bright and funny and comedic. And they're just like party animals in a good way, like safe, clean, fun. So maybe what the mall needs is it needs you to bring the vibe. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get more people into the mall just to create more of a vibe, just to create more of that community, just to create a bit more support for the mall, so that we have a greater chance of being here in the next 24 years or in the next decade at least. I want the mall to be here in another 10 years, because it was a mall that was part of my childhood, and it's where I went when I was a high schooler and I didn't have anywhere else to go, and I would just hang out over there. So we can be part of the solution by simply getting into the Chesapeake Square Mall. Like I said, I'm not going to force you to spend any money. I'm not telling you to support any businesses in there. I'm not telling you it has a bunch of great businesses in there. I'm just telling you that you can be part of the solution to keeping this mall open, to keeping this mall open to ideas and flourishing, is if you physically get your body over there and investigate with your own eyes. Because I can say all I want. I can even go live in there, which I can't actually go live and showcase it, because it's private property, and so they yell at you if you film anything. But I can film my face. I just can't show you the inside of the mall. And so if you want to see the inside of the mall, or especially if you live in Chesapeake and you live in this area and it used to be your mall, it used to be that mall, that place to go back in the day, just go for a visit. Just go. I'm just trying to get bodies in the door at this point. So just go and just reminisce on some things of your childhood. Just be like, I remember when this was over there. I remember when that was over there. I'll tell you, Auntie Anne's is still there. She's not where she used to be, but they moved her to the food court in her own special little area in the front, which is really cool. And yeah, you can go there. There aren't too many food options. There aren't too many store options. But like I said, we can be part of the solution by getting our bodies in there. So that is the first thing that I wanted to address about the Chesapeake Square Mall. Second of all, so I went there today and discovered that they do, in fact, have their holiday decor up and running, which I'm like, yay, 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 yay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because they do not have to do that. They don't have to do that. That is something that is of service to the people who actually go to the mall, to the community. And so if you are looking for some holiday decor, take some pictures with, free pictures, by the way, you can go to the Chesapeake Square Mall. So they have some of the areas where the plants were. They have like these big present boxes set up there. Those aren't very aesthetic, but it's still just like nice that there's something there. Or you can go, they actually have free pictures with Santa coming up starting November 30th. So there are certain days listed. They're listed all over the mall. If you go there, there are certain days in which they're going to have free photos with Santa. So what does that mean? That means Santa is going to be there in a nice little display towards the end by the Target side of the mall. And there's a nice little North Pole Santa's Workshop thing set up there, and he's going to be over there. And basically, it's on you to take the photo, to get somebody to take the photo for you on your own device. So it's not a professional photo, which is why it is free to the public. I still appreciate it, because our phones have advanced enough so that you can take a decent photo with Santa on your phone, and it'll look pretty good. And it's mainly catered towards kids. I'm not going to lie. We went as a family last year, and there was just a bunch of kids over there, and we had literally 0 children in our lineage at the moment. So we didn't have any kids with us. We were just all grown adults and my grandmother going over there. And so we didn't care. I encourage everybody to go, especially if you're grown adults and you have that. You are blessed enough to have your grandparents. You are blessed enough to have aunts and uncles and family, mother, father, grown siblings together in one place. If you're blessed enough to be able to capture that, please, please, please take advantage of that. That, I think, is just a wonderful, beautiful free service that the Chesapeake Square Mall has going during this holiday season, is free photos with Santa. And so, like I said, it's on you. You just show up. There's a line. I think there's usually like one helper just to make sure things don't get crazy. And Santa is there. And so basically you get in, you get out. You get in, take your pictures with your phone, and you get out. But yeah, it's something that's super free and super easy to do. And then you can develop those pictures, and boom, you have a holiday card for next year. Or boom, you just have a printed memory of Christmas time this year with the entire family unit with Santa in a nice, aesthetically pleasing Christmas decorated decor area. And so I would highly encourage you to go to the Chesapeake Square Mall to find out the dates in which Santa will be there, the dates and time in which Santa will be there. Like I said, it's mainly catered towards children. However, everyone is welcome. They're not going to throw you away at the door. They're not going to be like, go away, you have no kids, you have no business over here. No, my whole grown family went over there with my grandmother, and we got some really nice pictures. And then we dressed up. We made an event out of it. So don't just go show up like all raggedy and like be like, hey, Santa, how's it going, buddy? No, dress up for the occasion. Be festive for the holidays. Look nice. Wear that really nice velvet red dress that you've been waiting to wear. Anything super fancy and nice and festive, just wear it so that you actually are dressed to theme. and you take a nice photo with Santa. We want a nice photo with Santa, not a crappy photo. Even if it's free, you still want it to be nice, and you want to remember the season, right? So dress up, go take a picture with Santa, and just have a really good family memory of going to see Santa for free at the Chesapeake Square Mall in 2024. So next thing that I wanted to talk about concerning the Chesapeake Square Mall is I have a question for you personally, and that is, what types of businesses do you want to see at the Chesapeake Square Mall? So if you know the mall, you know there are a lot of vacancies. There's half of the mall that is completely closed out. And even if you discount the half that is closed out and barred off, there's still a lot of open vacancies in the mall. So we have to speak life over the mall. We have to speak life over our city. So I just want to put into the air. I want to put into your mind to get your mind going as to what type of businesses do you want to see in the Chesapeake Square Mall. So I'll give you an example. For me, I've talked about this with my number one fan. We really want to see some unique, small local businesses, not necessarily change, although I predict that there's going to be one really large, super popular chain establishment that is going to be in the mall, and it's going to bring a lot of life to the mall, but it's going to also usher in a bunch of small businesses to want to grab onto the popularity and take advantage of that in the area. But yeah, I imagine like a mixture of like one or two really big, really popular and lively big corporations moving in, and then a bunch of, because they have a lot of space, a bunch of small local businesses that gives you like a really unique Chesapeake flavor. I really think there are a bunch of entrepreneurs and potential business owners or solopreneurs out there who really need to step into what their purpose is. They need to step into that business. They need to try with that business. They need to actually give it a shot and give it a fair chance at life and succeeding, because we don't want all corporate entities running the world, right? I'm not anti-corporate. I'm just pro-options. And so I love seeing really good small businesses performing and outperforming even corporate. I like that local feel. I like having something that's uniquely Chesapeake to go to refer people to. And so I'm just imagining like just a super like Chesapeake feel. Like maybe there's an establishment that just sells a bunch of like bird antiques, like porcelain birds, bird decoration, bird knitted things, but like there's a special section that's just dedicated to the blue heron and the northern cardinal for Chesapeake and Virginia. Like that would be super cute, and something that's just like only here. Only can you find that here in Chesapeake, the peak of excellence at the Chesapeake Square Mall. I really want I also want a unique like mom and pop eatery to move in there, to add to the diversity of the food court, because that also needs some help as far as having like different options available. Right now you can get a smoothie, there's a Euro/wing place, there's two Chinese food places to pick from, and there's a sweets and treats location that has a bunch of popcorn and was it Philly ice or something like that, candy corn, stuff like that. And so it's slim pickings in the food court. I'm not saying that they're bad pickings, they're just slim. So I would like to see more diversity of food in the food court. Maybe, I don't know, something southern. I don't know. But yeah, something unique in the food court. Once again, another like mom and pop local place moving in, where it's like it's definitely a passion project, definitely something that's family run, you know? So yeah, those are the types of businesses that I really love to imagine. Every time I walk through the mall and I see the vacant spaces, I just walk through and I imagine different businesses moving into it. There's a certain spot where I'm like, that's going to be an art gallery, and you're just going to see a bunch of local exhibitions from local artists just having like beautiful works of art. And there's ones, I'm visioning it right now. There's one spot where I'm just like, it's definitely going to be an art gallery. There's another spot where I'm like, that could be a mini arcade, or like something where it's like maybe they just have board games in there or something like that. Something where it's like interactive, you know? Um, I love to imagine all the possibilities, and I just see opportunity everywhere. I can't not see it. This is a place that is so full of opportunity. We just need to step into that. And so the next time you go to the Chesapeake Square Mall, I want you to start envisioning and saying what business is going to move into this spot. What is going to be the next small business or the next big business that is going to move into this vacancy right here? What is the opportunity that people are going to start taking advantage of here in the peak of excellence? Because there is so much potential that we need to walk into, and I am so excited for the future. So I think that is it. Oh no, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. What can we, as a community of Chesapeakeans, what can we do to help get more traffic to the Chesapeake Square Mall, or to help improve the vibes in general? I know a super simple thing is if you and your friends go and you're just good people, you're just good, positive, vibey people. And so that alone, just your presence alone should be enough to just instantly lift the vibes of the Chesapeake Square Mall. So that's a super easy, simple thing that we as Chesapeakeans can do to bring more people into the Chesapeake Square Mall, is to bring the vibes. We don't have to depend solely on the mall itself to bring the vibes, because we being wonderful, beautiful Chesapeakeans can bring the vibes and raise the bar. What else can we do? This is something that I want this to be a conversation between us. So don't forget to put it in the comments after I finish this live, is that any ideas that you have that we can get people into the mall now that we can do, not the mall. Like 100%, it's on us to get people in there. Are there any activities that you can think of? I don't know about logistically speaking, but I always imagine tailgating at the mall because there's so much parking lot space. So I was like, I don't understand why every year during football season they don't get on the tailgate scene. Talk about a wasted opportunity. Why don't you just invite people to come and have a pre-designated spot designated at the mall that's not being used because there's so much parking space, and just be tailgating every single weekend while the games are going on. Just have, or before the games go on, have a tailgating event. That would help utilize the space, but I don't know the logistics of it. Again, I don't know the logistics, but tailgating is something that I think that we can do at the mall. Obviously, we need their permission. Obviously, they need to be on board, but that's something that I've always thought of. Activities. I really wish the mall had more activities, like events, like actual events, like maybe a vendor day. Like once a month, they invite local Chesapeake vendors to come in and set up and sell their stuff, just once a month, and then make a day out of it. Invite more people, because it creates more diversity of the stuff that you can shop from, because not everybody wants a storefront. Not everybody wants to be brick and mortar. Some people want to be more mobile and just want to be a vendor, but not necessarily have a brick and mortar place, because rent is high. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I want more activities. Not necessarily paid activities either. Not necessarily just a vendor day, but I just think of a theme, and be like, okay, so we're going to have a 90s theme at the mall at this day. And so just only play 90s music on the radio. Tell everybody to wear their best 90s gear, their nostalgia gear. Have some 90s games set up in one of the empty spaces, or have a TV set up with some free 90s games to play. That would just be cool. Wouldn't it be cool? I thought it would be cool. But if you have any other ideas as what we can do as a community to get more people into the mall, what can we do as a community to raise the vibes of the mall, and what can we do as a community to support the mall with what we already have? And just put it out into the air, put it into the comments, put it out into the air. And I know this is going to do something great. So this is just the beginning of the conversation. We're going to continue this conversation as time goes on, because I can't wait to see the Chesapeake Square Mall thrive. And not just the mall, but that entire Western Branch area. Cannot wait to see it thrive, because we are the peak of excellence. And so we are raising our standards day by day, starting with ourselves. So work on yourself first, and then start thinking about ways that we can improve the mall. What are the opportunities that we are missing out on? What opportunities should we be taking advantage of in this day and age? Remember, when everyone else is running away, that's when you run in there, because that's when the opportunity is golden. And trust me, right now in the peak of excellence, right now in the great state of VA, the opportunities are abound. They are everywhere, and they are golden. I'm pretty sure we are literally sitting on gold, because I see safes being found everywhere. So I think we are sitting on so much wealth, so much hidden wealth, but we have to be the ones to grab it. We have to be the ones to take advantage of the opportunity, and we have to be the ones to lift each other up. And so please help me by lifting up the Chesapeake Square Mall, by physically moving your body and going to visit the mall to see with your own eyeballs, is it still there? Okay? Do not ask me. Verify with your own body and your own eyeballs. And then you can make your own judgments, and then you can use your own imagination to imagine what other beautiful businesses are going to move into those vacancies, and just imagine such a bright, beautiful future for the Chesapeake Square Mall. So that's all I have for this episode of DiV and Virginnie, the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I rambled a little bit, but you know what? That's what we do here. We don't know what we're doing. So anyway, this has been yet another episode of DiV and Virginnie, the podcast about the Chesapeake Square Mall. If you would like to support the Virginnie Adventures, please feel free to buy me a coffee in the comments, not the comments, the description. It's a website in which I put random articles here and there, and I have a couple of recorded audio-only versions of the podcast, so it's a little bit different from this. I think the audio-only versions, honestly, flow a little bit better than when I am on camera for some reason. I don't know why, but when it's just me and the mic, we be vibing a lot better. So if you want more of okay, there we go. If you want more of this, okay, well, the internet is not very good, so this playback is going to be complete and utter trash. But let us hope that it is not complete and utter trash. So I'm going to end the stream, and I'm going to pray that we are actually continuing the daggone podcast. So it was my sign to just shut up and shut down. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic day. And until next time, this has been yet another episode of DiV and Virginnie, the podcast. And until next time, all I have to say is it is yet another beautiful day here in VA. DiV out.